Have you ever wondered why some people seem to dislike you immediately, even when you haven't done anything to provoke them? It's as if, no matter your actions, there's always someone giving you that look of disdain or disapproval. The reason why some people develop an instant aversion towards others is often a mystery, one that isn't always tied to something you said or did. Instead, these feelings can stem from deep-seated psychological factors, misunderstandings, or emotions like envy. Understanding why this happens is more than just satisfying a curiosity. It's essential for navigating the complex social interactions we face every day. In this special video, we'll delve into 9 reasons why people may harbor such intense negative feelings toward us. Before we begin, I just want to say thank you. Your support and encouragement mean the world to me, and I appreciate every single comment and message you leave. If you're new here, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Now, let's embark on this journey of understanding together. One of the most profound reasons someone may harbor negative feelings towards you is envy. Envy is a powerful and often corrosive emotion, capable of turning admiration into resentment and respect into bitterness. When someone feels envy, it's usually because they see something in you that they wish they had but believe they can never attain. This could be your success, personal achievements, or even qualities in your character that they perceive as lacking in themselves. Envy often reflects an internal dissatisfaction within the envious person. Instead of finding inspiration in your success or feeling happy for you, they may start to see your accomplishments as a painful reminder of what they lack. This resentment can fester, leading them to wish for your failure or even spread falsehoods to discredit you. It's crucial to understand that envy is a problem within the person feeling it, not within you. While it can be tempting to take this resentment personally or start doubting yourself, it's important to remember that their feelings of inferiority are not your responsibility. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "Don't worry about things that are beyond your control. Their envy is theirs to manage, not yours." Acknowledging this can help you maintain your own peace and keep moving forward. Another common reason for aversion is misunderstanding or ineffective communication. Small missteps in communication can quickly spiral into deep-seated resentment. Often these misunderstandings stem from misinterpretations or lack of clarity in how we express ourselves or how others interpret what we say. It can be as simple as a misplaced word, a misinterpreted tone, or even a misunderstood facial expression. These small errors can plant seeds of negative assumptions, causing someone to view you as rude, indifferent, or even hostile, even if your intentions were entirely innocent. Ineffective communication can also lead to a lack of true understanding between people. When we fail to express ourselves clearly, others may be left to fill in the blanks with their own assumptions. Similarly, if we don't take the time to listen actively to others, we might miss their perspective, leading to misunderstandings. These gaps in communication can grow over time, turning into resentment or even outright hostility. Recognizing the importance of open, honest communication can help us avoid unnecessary conflicts and create healthier relationships. Misunderstandings don't always have to lead to lasting resentment, but bridging these gaps requires effort and empathy. Differences in fundamental values and beliefs can also be a significant source of tension. We each have our own unique set of values, shaped by our personal experiences and backgrounds. When someone's values or beliefs conflict with our own, it can create friction. These differences might be political, religious, or even related to lifestyle choices. When someone sees their own beliefs as superior, anyone who thinks differently might be viewed as a threat. This us versus them mentality is a common cause of conflict, and can quickly turn disagreement into dislike. Additionally, for people with deeply ingrained beliefs, any challenge to these beliefs can feel like a personal attack. This can trigger a defensive response, causing them to resent or even hate those who represent the perceived threat to their values. It's important to understand that these conflicts are often about more than just differing opinions. They're clashes between identities and worldviews. Instead of allowing differences to foster animosity, we can strive to respect and appreciate the diversity of perspectives around us. This doesn't mean we have to agree with everyone, but accepting that different viewpoints exist is a step toward a more harmonious coexistence. The influence of rumors and gossip can also be a powerful driver of hatred. Sometimes people form opinions about us based on third-party whispers rather than first-hand interactions. Rumors can spread like wildfire, distorting reality and creating false images of who we are. Once a rumor circulates, it often becomes more difficult to refute than to accept, leading people to make judgments about us without knowing the real story. This can be especially damaging if the rumors involve negative or sensitive topics, as they can make others view us in an unfair or harsh light. Rumors feed into people's biases and make it easy for them to believe the worst, especially if it aligns with their own suspicions. This type of indirect influence can create a toxic environment, causing people to dislike you based on misinformation. Dealing with rumors can be challenging, but maintaining integrity and transparency in our interactions is the best way to counteract falsehoods over time. Remember, while it may take time, truth has a way of outlasting rumors. Another hidden cause of hatred lies in personal insecurities and projection. When people struggle with insecurities, these feelings can manifest as envy, resentment, or even hatred toward those who seem more successful or confident. Insecurity often has roots in past experiences, perceived failures, or feelings of inadequacy. As the philosopher Seneca observed, insecurity can lead people to project their negative feelings onto others. For example, someone who feels inadequate in their career may harbor resentment toward a successful colleague, even though that success has nothing to do with them personally. This projection of internal struggles onto others acts as a defense mechanism, allowing people to shift focus from their own shortcomings to perceived flaws in others. For some, seeing others succeed is a painful reminder of what they feel they lack, turning admiration into resentment. Recognizing that someone's hostility may stem from their own insecurities can help us avoid taking it personally. Their struggles are their own, and understanding this can allow us to respond with empathy and maintain a balanced perspective. Another factor that fuels animosity is a lack of empathy and understanding. Ideally, empathy would guide our interactions with others, but unfortunately, it's often lacking. Empathy allows us to see the world through another's eyes, to understand their emotions and motivations. Without it, people are more likely to misinterpret others' actions and feel offended where no offense was intended. A lack of empathy leads to distorted interpretations, where people see insults or slights where none exist. This can create a cycle of misunderstandings that only deepens the divide between individuals. Empathy requires effort and a willingness to look beyond one's own perspective, but some people are either unwilling or unable to make that effort. Instead, they view the world in simplistic terms, jumping to conclusions without considering context or nuance. For some, a lack of empathy also stems from egocentrism. People who are overly self-focused may struggle to appreciate or value the experiences and feelings of others, leading to insensitivity. Recognizing a lack of empathy in others, and sometimes in ourselves, can help us approach these situations with patience and understanding, protecting our own emotional well-being while striving to reduce conflict. Competition or rivalry can also become a source of resentment. Many aspects of life, work, social circles, even family, have elements of competition, and this isn't inherently negative. Healthy competition can drive us to improve and grow. But when competition becomes obsessive or rooted in jealousy, it can shift into something much darker. People may start to see others as obstacles or threats rather than sources of inspiration. This obsession with outperforming others can lead to hostility and even destructive behaviors such as gossip, sabotage, or personal attacks. Over time, competition based on insecurities can erode one's own ethics, transforming what should be a source of motivation into a breeding ground for resentment. Recognizing rivalry as a possible reason for someone's animosity can help us understand the underlying dynamics. If we can learn to see competition as an opportunity for collaboration rather than confrontation, we can avoid much of the negativity associated with rivalry. Remember, another person's success doesn't diminish your own, and there's enough room for everyone to achieve their goals. Each of these factors, envy, misunderstandings, differences in values, rumors, insecurities, lack of empathy, and competition, can drive negative feelings. Understanding these dynamics can help us approach situations more mindfully, allowing us to handle conflicts with grace and maturity. By developing a compassionate view of the struggles others may face, we can maintain our own peace while navigating complex social landscapes. Let's continue exploring these ideas in the second half, where we'll dive deeper into the subtle ways these dynamics affect our relationships and the strategies we can use to build resilience. Continuing on this journey of understanding why people may harbor negative feelings towards us, let's delve deeper into some additional, often subtle factors that contribute to aversion and resentment in our interactions. These dynamics can often fly under the radar, but have a significant impact on our relationships. One such factor is emotional exhaustion. We all have our burdens and stresses, and sometimes people reach a point where their tolerance for others' quirks or successes wears thin. This isn't necessarily because of anything we've done, rather, they're dealing with their own struggles. Imagine someone going through a challenging time, perhaps struggling with finances, a demanding job, or personal issues. In such situations, it's easy for them to feel overwhelmed, and the success or happiness of others can unintentionally act as a painful contrast, a reminder of what they're missing or struggling to achieve. This internal strain can lead them to view others through a lens of frustration or resentment, projecting their own difficulties onto those around them. In this sense, their dislike has less to do with us and more to do with their own emotional capacity. Recognizing this can help us respond with patience and understanding rather than frustration. Another hidden driver of negative feelings is a sense of competition for social standing or approval, even in subtle ways. In any group, whether it's a circle of friends, co-workers, or family members, there's often an unspoken hierarchy. People instinctively sense where they stand and sometimes compare themselves to others, seeking approval or validation. This social positioning can create tension, especially if someone feels overshadowed or undervalued. Imagine, for instance, a workplace where everyone wants to be seen as competent and respected. If one person receives more recognition, others may feel envious, perceiving it as a threat to their standing or self-worth. This can lead to subtle forms of resentment, even if it remains unspoken. It's a natural human tendency to seek acknowledgement, but when it turns into rivalry, it can breed negative feelings. This tension is often rooted in the fear that others' successes might eclipse our own. Recognizing this as a common human experience can help us understand why some people might feel this way, even if we've done nothing to provoke it. Sometimes people develop an aversion towards us because they see in us qualities or characteristics they dislike in themselves. This phenomenon is called mirroring. In psychological terms, mirroring occurs when someone's behavior, traits, or experiences reflect something within us that we either value or, in this case, resent. For instance, if someone dislikes their own tendency to procrastinate, they might feel a strong aversion towards someone else who exhibits a similar behavior. It's as though our traits or actions hold up a mirror to their own unresolved issues. This can lead to unexpected hostility, as they may subconsciously blame us for the qualities they dislike in themselves. Mirroring is a defense mechanism, and it often occurs without conscious awareness. When people project their insecurities or flaws onto others, it can lead to an unspoken tension that's hard to resolve because it's based on an internal struggle they might not even recognize. Understanding this can help us avoid taking such aversions personally, as they are often more about the other person's inner conflict than anything we've done. A tendency toward rigid thinking or black-and-white perspectives can also contribute to dislike. Some people have a harder time seeing the nuances in situations, categorizing others as either good or bad, right or wrong. In this mindset, there's little room for understanding or compassion, and people who view the world in such absolute terms are often quick to judge and dismiss others. If we don't fit into their expectations or if we challenge their worldview, they may quickly place us in a negative category. This rigidity can lead to a type of aversion that feels undeserved, as it stems not from our actions, but from their inability to accept diverse perspectives or approaches. People with a more flexible mindset can adapt to differences more easily, but for those with rigid beliefs, anything that contradicts their worldview can trigger negative feelings. Understanding this tendency can help us avoid feeling hurt or confused by others' aversions, as they often come from a place of inflexibility rather than genuine dislike. A less obvious but impactful factor is cultural or generational differences. Our backgrounds shape the way we see the world, and these differences can sometimes create misunderstandings or even resentment. People from different generations or cultural backgrounds may have contrasting values, communication styles, and expectations. What one person views as respectful or considerate might come across as rude or dismissive to someone from another background. For example, a younger person might value direct communication, while an older person might see this as overly blunt or disrespectful. These clashes aren't about personal animosity, but about differing frameworks for interpreting behavior. Recognizing cultural and generational factors in misunderstandings can help us approach conflicts with more patience and empathy, understanding that these tensions often come from different perspectives rather than intentional rudeness or hostility. A feeling of being left out or overlooked can also spark resentment. In social settings, people often desire to feel included and valued. When someone feels excluded, whether intentionally or unintentionally, it can lead to feelings of resentment. This is especially true in situations where group dynamics play a significant role, like at work or in a social circle. If someone feels ignored, undervalued or unappreciated, they may start to harbor negative feelings toward those they perceive as the in-crowd. This isn't necessarily a reaction to any direct action, but rather a response to feeling sidelined. By being mindful of others' need for inclusion and acknowledgement, we can often help ease these feelings before they turn into resentment. Finally, unresolved conflicts from the past can linger and turn into lasting resentment. Sometimes people carry old wounds or grudges that influence how they feel about others. These unresolved issues may not even involve us directly, but could relate to similar situations or personalities from their past. For example, if someone experienced betrayal in a friendship before, they might be wary of trusting others, projecting their past hurt onto new acquaintances. This can lead to a defensive stance where they are predisposed to view others with suspicion or dislike, fearing they might experience the same pain again. Recognizing this tendency can help us understand why some people might be guarded or distant. Approaching such individuals with understanding and patience can sometimes soften their defenses, allowing for a fresh start rather than a relationship clouded by past experiences. In each of these cases, we see how complex the roots of resentment and aversion can be. Often, these feelings arise from internal struggles, personal experiences, and psychological defenses rather than anything we have done directly. By recognizing these dynamics, we can better understand the behavior of others and approach such situations with patience, empathy, and wisdom. Navigating these complexities is not about changing others, but about protecting our peace and continuing our journey without letting others' opinions derail us. Remember that not every negative feeling directed your way is within your control, nor is it a reflection of your worth. Holding on to your own values, practicing empathy, and maintaining open communication can be powerful tools for preserving your well-being in the face of misunderstanding or resentment. Ultimately, understanding the roots of these negative emotions can help us foster more harmonious and fulfilling interactions, leading us to a richer, more compassionate experience of the world.